All right, I'm loading up the next quilt, and I wanted to show everybody how I do that. So from the front here, I lay the backing where I know it's like a straight line and kind of on grain on this front bar. And then I get it behind my leveling bar and up and over the take up bar. And then I go around to the back. And this is where I'll use the SewTites. And you just slide them off and put them right back on. And I'm doing it one-handed. Usually I would use two hands, but I'm holding, actually, I'll hold with my left and use my right hand. But it's nice because you can tap them on and then you can kind of scooch them, make sure that they're, you know, in contact with the entire metal bar that's in there. So there you go. You can pretty well see how easy that is. And I've had questions about how far apart do you space them? Well, it often just depends. Like, so on this quilt, I would probably maybe scooch them a little closer together so that I can get a full contact with one right here and on the other end. So often I scooch them around depending on how wide my backing is, because I've got enough to go all the way out. And I didn't stitch them into the channel because I never felt like that was necessary. Because I just leave the SewTites on there all the time, and that keeps them, I mean, they never go anywhere even when I didn't keep the SewTites on all the time. So those back bars, those back pieces are very easy to scooch around, but once they're in there, they don't really go anywhere. So I never felt like it was necessary to, I have to kind of like use my magnet to scooch them around. So they don't go anywhere unless I'm trying to make them go somewhere. And then I just roll it forward. My son's being a goof. And then I start rolling up on the bar. And now at this point, I'll go around and I'll roll that forward until it's flat here. And then I'll roll it all the way up on. And really, it just depends on the back, but you can also get away with doing it this way too. It's just, my springs and this guy are broken. Usually there's a spring there that lets go boop, boop, boop. But I don't, my spring is broken, so I need to replace that. Those are wearable parts. And then once I've got it rolled all the way up, you know, you want to smooth. Make sure it's not getting any wrinkles into it. And then I just keep rolling it forward now until it gets to be, let's see, about that long in the front. So you'll see, okay, like here. And then what I'll do is, because I definitely have enough backing, instead of using the SewTites on this bottom edge, I'm just going to tuck it up under and then that'll hold it as I roll forward. And then, because I'm not going to get far enough down to where it's going to come loose. And even if I did, I could use the SewTites right here to hold it in place. So anyways, I will have to kind of, you know, especially when you're rolling it onto the front bar, you want to make sure you're smooth. I like to do it on both, but it's a little harder when you've only got one hand, and I lost my around the neck phone holder, so. All right, there we go. And then when you get to this point, you know, it'll take the chance to smooth it out there.
He's literally like looking.
Now that seam, kind of get to where it's in there, and then I'll make sure it lays flat as I'm rolling it up. See what I'm doing here with my fingers? Okay. And now see the trouble that pieced backings can get you into. You might have, you know, this piece might have stretched a little while you were sewing it. But, you know, we long armers do our best to make sure it doesn't stitch a pleat in on the backing. Okay, I smoothed it out there. And there we go. And now here we are where everyone says, oh, are you sure it doesn't, you know, doesn't it, what am I trying to say here? Does it pull, right? And so the answer is, yeah, I could definitely try hard enough to maybe flip those magnets, but why would you, right? So usually what I do is I'll let it get just behind here, and then that kind of holds the magnets in place, right? So they're back there. And look, you know, I'm cranking it. It's not letting go. So that's a non-issue in my opinion. And if you are struggling with that, would love to help troubleshoot, but it's usually a matter of just not cranking it as hard as you're trying to crank it, you know? So those magnets are laying flat against the bottom of my dead bar here, my leveling bar. And that works well. Now, if for some reason, like say I'm really short on backing, I can also let it down farther. But, you know, you just have to be not crazy about cranking it. Like here I cranked it one more. There I cranked it another. See, they're starting to lift. And yeah, if you crank it hard enough, you can get it to flip, but why would you need to? It's flat. It's flat. So just be delicate until you get these either tucked up behind your dead bar or rolled up in your take-up lever. And see what I mean? I like to scooch them around so that I don't have this happening. I like to usually have full contact out to the edge. But this is a much smaller quilt top than the backing, so I'm not worried about it.